wide world of sports is going on here?
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs?
I'm Sean.
And I'm Andrew. We are the winning losers.
We win. Sometimes.
3/4 of this is inaccurate.
It's time for another episode of Winning Losers.
Yes, it is. Episode 3 here. Episode 50, episode 3 on the on the Brawl Network. And
Sponsored by DraftKings.
Yeah, sponsored by DraftKings. So why don't we start there?
What can you tell us about DraftKings?
The DK Sportsbook is here. Thanks to our partnership with DraftKings, we're getting started with a huge offer. New bettors will get a deposit bonus up to $1,000. Here's how it works. Step 1, create your DraftKings Sportsbook account. Step 2, make your first deposit of $5 or more. Step 3, DraftKings will match your first deposit at 20% up to $1,000. Just go to dkng.co/brawlbook to play. That's dkng.co/brawlbook. Act quickly, this offer won't be around forever. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-426-2537. That's for Illinois. In New Jersey, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, and Michigan, call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indianapolis. Colorado, that's 1-800-522-4700. In Iowa, it's 1-800-BETS-OFF. Virginia, 1-888-532-3500. And Tennessee, 1-800-889-9789. You have to be 21 or up to gamble, and in any of the states I just mentioned above, it's only legal in those states. Minimum 5 deposit required. Deposit bonus requires 25-time playthrough. Deposit bonus is issued as site credits. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for more details. So there you go. That's a good offer.
So.
And let's just...
Said, yes, gamble with sportsbooks this spring on college basketball, UFC, and...
Baseball,
yes.
pro basketball, NHL. Yeah.
Yes.
Plenty of
they have it all
to go around. Anyway, let's just jump right into it. First story of the day in the NFL. It seems like forever ago now that it happened. I think it was only like last Monday or something, but J.J. Watt is now an Arizona Cardinal. That's
yes, I was surprised by that. That I didn't think he'd go to Arizona. I was pretty certain he was going to Green Bay.
Green Bay was one of the teams that people thought. They also thought Buffalo. They thought Cleveland. They thought Pittsburgh. Apparently, teams like Indianapolis and Tennessee actually offered him more money than Arizona. He still chose the Cardinals. But if he's healthy, he'll form a very good duo with Chandler Jones there.
Yes. No, I think, and that team was close to I can't remember what the record is off the top of my head, but he could picking him up was definitely an extra piece they needed to win their division. And maybe make a run at the playoffs. You know, he's been around forever. He's I still think that strengthening their defense would not hurt. We know how explosive their offense is, but
I do think, despite both St. Louis and Seattle going to the playoffs last year, that division is fairly wide open. So I do think adding him will help. I don't think the pass rush was their biggest problem, though. I think they need better offensive line play and better secondary play more than they needed him. So we'll see how picking up an extra pass rusher will inevitably help the secondary, so that might help them do better. But I still think they have bigger issues. But it's weird because before he decided on Arizona, someone thought they found his Peloton bio. Did you see that?
No.
Someone thought they found his bio on for the Peloton bike, and it had it listed on there that he was deciding between Green Bay, Cleveland, or Buffalo. Except the name on there was KJ Watt instead of JJ Watt. And then he's just like, "Hey guys, I don't have a bike." Yeah. So everyone thought he was going to one of those teams. He tricked everyone out. Yeah. And it'll be an interesting fit.
Yes. No, it definitely can't hurt to have another good pass rusher on their D line.
I do think, though, that he is he hasn't been like the player he used to be for like 4 years.
Yes, it seemed like he's become very injury prone.
Yeah.
The last couple of years.
I don't know, but I do think it will help it in some way. Also, I don't know if you saw that a former Texan coach said that he was selfish and only cared about stats.
No, I had not heard that.
Yeah, but I think that's just someone being a sore loser from the Texans that he wanted out from them and, kind of taking his shots.
Yes, it just seemed like the Texans can't do anything right this offseason.
Yeah, I would agree with that. They've had their issues.
But since I do support the Titans, it's kind of entertaining to watch them go downhill quickly this offseason.
Yeah, it seems like that. Although for now they still have a franchise quarterback. We'll see how long that lasts.
That doesn't want to be there.
Yeah. And it doesn't sound like he will be, but I don't know. They don't want to trade him, so who knows what's going to happen.
Well, like I said in last week's episode, they're missing their opportunity to trade him.
Yeah.
So once that window closes, he'll probably sit out hold out at least at the start of training camp, maybe the whole season, and then they'll just have to go with their second string quarterback.
Right. Yeah. Let's move on to another quarterback that might be wanting out of his situation, and that's Russell Wilson up in Seattle.
Well, I just caught SportsCenter this morning, and they said he didn't want to trade at this point. He just wants a better contract or a different contract.
From what I heard, it's not about the contract. It's about the coaching decisions and the talent that's around him. What was it that I had seen? All right, so an NFL reporter on Twitter, Dov Kleiman, tweeted on March 4th that the rift between Wilson and the Seahawks is happening because Wilson believes he's a top 5 all-time QB, and he also believes that he isn't currently viewed even as a top 10 QB all time. He thinks Seattle is holding him back with decisions relating to personnel and scheme.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you mentioned that before.
Yeah. And yeah, that does make sense. I mean, he's definitely, when I think of top 10 QBs all time, he's nowhere close to that list, maybe top 20. Right?
Yes.
But I'd say he's much closer to 20 than he is to 10.
Yeah.
So if he wants to be viewed in that category, he has some work to do, and if Seattle's not helping him get there, then it makes sense that he wants out.
Yes.
And so the teams he's listed that he wants to go to are the Bears, Dallas, New Orleans, Las Vegas. Am I missing one?
No, I keep hearing Chicago as a...
Yeah, Chicago.
No, I know you said that. I'm just reiterating what you said. That
yeah. Like, going to Dallas would definitely boost his numbers. They're a big passing offense. They also already have Dak Prescott, who's likely to put the franchise tag on. So they're probably not looking for a trade for Wilson.
no.
The Bears traditionally have not done much with QBs. I mean, they haven't had anyone probably as talented as Russell Wilson in like ever. But
yeah, they don't draft quarterbacks well at all.
No,
at least in our lifetime.
But especially like with their situation right now, if Allen Robinson leaves, he's a free agent. They have no one to catch the ball from him. So I don't know why he'd want to go to Chicago.
Yes.
If he goes to Vegas, they have some decent receivers, but I think he has much better receivers than Seattle right now.
Yes.
So if those are his choices, I'd say he's as good off staying in Seattle and trying to get them to improve their offensive line play than he is going anywhere else.
Yes.
I mean, if I were him, I'd look at, I don't know, I'd open up my options more. I'm not sure exactly where. Maybe if, like, the 49ers do move Garoppolo, I could see him wanting to go there. I think they have a situation he'd succeed in. But the teams he named, I don't see it.
Yes.
I also saw, New Orleans was the last one. He would do well in New Orleans.
Yes. Well, it seems like they haven't figured out what they'll do with Drew Brees yet, since Drew Brees hasn't retired yet, has he?
Not officially.
Okay, so
like everyone has assumed that he was going to retire, but the fact that he hasn't yet is, I don't know, maybe not.
Yes.
Which brings me to this story. I didn't mention this, I saw it the other day, but the Seattle mayor is now threatening to steal and move the Pelicans to Seattle because the mayor of New Orleans tried to recruit Wilson to the Saints.
That's a very difficult task to do.
Yeah.
Especially when you already lost one NBA franchise. I don't think the NBA is going to rush to give him another franchise.
The Seattle mayor tweeted out, "I love you, mayor, but keep your eyes off Russell Wilson. His home is Seattle. And just so you know, Seattle is in the market for an NBA team. Don't make me go there."
Well, at least he has a sense of humor.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought that was funny. Anyway, next story in the NFL, Baker Mayfield and his wife apparently saw some aliens.
Yes, I had heard about that, and I was briefly skimming over it before, but it just says it was a big light from the sky.
Yeah, basically. But the real thing I brought this up is, did you hear what Colin Cowherd said?
No.
He said Joe Montana, Troy Aikman, Terry Bradshaw, and Tom Brady have never seen aliens. I would prefer my guys don't talk about it. So he's saying like franchise QBs don't have alien encounters.
Yes.
I just thought that was funny.
I mean, that could be anything, but
yeah. No. I also saw that after he said that, Brady tweeted out, "Hey Colin, how do you know that I've never seen aliens?"
yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
He just assumes that he hadn't seen aliens.
Yeah. And while I brought up Tom Brady, I saw another story. Not Tom Brady, but kind of. Actually, it's Terry Bradshaw. In 1983, he needed like a knee surgery, but didn't want anyone to know he was getting a knee surgery. So he checked into a hospital name under the name Tom Brady. That's interesting.
Yes.
It was arm surgery, actually, not knee surgery.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting. He needed an elbow surgery for tennis elbow.
Oh, I guess he's been playing a lot of tennis.
Oh,
I didn't know that you get a surgery for that. I mean, I've played tennis before, and and it definitely makes your elbow sore. But I thought you could just stretch and strengthen your elbow as opposed to needing surgery.
The article is saying it's not so much tennis elbow, but just similar injury.
Oh, okay.
From throwing a football, but yeah.
Okay.
And the doctor's name was Dr. Bill Bundrick, which is pretty similar to Belichick.
What are the chances of that?
Yeah, that's just a weird anomaly. Okay, a couple other NFL stories. The Washington football team is going to release Alex Smith.
No surprise there. They didn't.
Yeah.
They really were not on good terms at all.
Yeah. We talked about that, what was it, last week, I think.
Yeah.
But do you think his career is over?
No, I'm sure he'll go and play for, I don't know, be a backup for the Raiders, or I'm not sure who else needs a backup off the top of my head, but I think he's got a couple of seasons left. I don't think he'll be a starter, but
as a backup, depending on which route the Patriots take, I would take him as a backup.
Yes.
I think he'd be a good mentor to a rookie.
Yes.
Although I think they're trying to find someone that's in the league. I've heard apparently their top target is Garoppolo.
I had seen that as well.
I've heard,
which would make sense. I mean, he started his career with the Patriots.
Yeah. I've heard Mariota could make sense, and
yes, it seems like that he'll be released shortly from the Raiders.
Yeah. Or I guess they're trying to trade him, but his contract apparently will make that difficult, they're saying.
Yes, I heard that on SportsCenter as well this morning.
Yeah. And I can see Mitch Trubisky.
Yes, you mentioned that multiple times that you want Trubisky.
I don't really want him, but I think he'd be like a decent like option to prove it on a 1-year deal type of thing. Get him into a different situation, and
yes,
he's shown flashes in the past, at least as much as Mariota has. I think.
I mean, I didn't expect much from him, and I don't think I've seen that much. I know you like his numbers, but just from his play on TV, I would not want him on my team. I just
there was 1 year when I was playing fantasy football. It was like 2 years ago. He was like probably the 10th best fantasy quarterback in the league. I was stuck in a situation where I was either him or Matt Stafford, and I ended up going with him for most of the season over Stafford.
Yes, but how deep has he taken the Bears?
No, yeah, that's the thing. I don't think the Bears have a lot of talent around them.
Yes,
I think if you put them in a situation with better coaches and players, then we'll see.
But Brady did a lot without that many star receivers, so
yeah,
it's possible. It's harder, but it's possible.
I mean, Brady's a lot better than Trubisky, so.
No, I think Trubisky's the better quarterback in that comparison.
He's more athletic, I'll give him that. He can run faster. It
gets boring agreeing all the time, so I thought I'd change it up a little bit.
All right, so also in the NFL, the NFL's investigation into a Washington team is concluding soon, and apparently their recommendation is going to be for Dan Snyder to sell the team.
Yes, I think that Washington football fans will be very happy with that. He's he's been a pretty big disappointment, and now all these off the field allegations are pretty disturbing. So yes, I don't think I want to work for him. So
yeah. The thing is now apparently there's a whole bunch of Twitter accounts that were created in October of 2020 that are all agreeing that Dan Snyder is a great human being.
What a coincidence.
And he's apparently, or not him, but someone is buying a bunch of Facebook ads. They're saying what a great guy he is as well.
That's so a terrible strategy. We're just going to make Twitter accounts and buy Facebook ads telling Washington fans that he's a good person when we all know he's not.
Yeah.
I'm no PR expert, but that's when you have interviews and you actually put the person whose decisions are in question out to be more human and be sympathetic, not don't hide behind Facebook and Twitter advertising. That's a dumb move. So
yeah, I would agree with that.
Washington's just making bad decisions off the field like always.
Yeah. The other report or the other recommendation from the report is that suspend the owner for a significant period of time to allow the organization to repair its infrastructure and culture.
But if he comes back, it'll be back where it was before. They should the NFL should just gift the team to Jeff Bezos. Here, we know you want a team. We don't want Dan Snyder in the NFL anymore. Here's Washington, and rebrand them and make them competitive.
If I was Dan Snyder,
you can write us a check later. We know you have a couple $1 billion.
Yeah, I know Dan Snyder doesn't want to sell, but Bezos, if he wants the team that badly, just offer him $5 billion as opposed to the $2 billion they normally get.
Just overpay by a couple billion.
Yeah, that's nothing to him. So what's he care?
Yeah,
and he gets the team, and Dan Snyder might not want to sell, but he's also not going to turn down $5 billion.
Yes.
Yes. Double what the franchise is worth now.
Well, maybe if the NFL is able to somehow ban him from the league, then the NFL would just get the money and he wouldn't. But I'm sure there's contracts in place that prevent that from happening. But yes, since Jeff Bezos is worth $193 billion, he can afford to pay $5 or $10 billion for an NFL team, even though they're usually only valued at $2 or $3 billion.
The most comparable situation was probably Sterling when he had to sell the Clippers. Yeah. Which I believe he did get the money from that still.
Oh, he did? Even though he was forced to sell?
Yeah, I think he still got the money.
Okay. I didn't realize that. Oh, yeah, that was quite a disaster in LA.
Yeah.
A while ago.
Yeah. All right, so the final NFL story of the week is the Ravens' new overtime proposal. Did you see that?
Yes, I was very intrigued by this story.
It sounds weird, but
can you explain it to us? Because I read over it, but I'm sure you grasped it better than I do.
All right, so it says, well, it's called spot and choose. So one team picks a spot of the ball to start the overtime, and the other team chooses whether to play offense or defense. So it's kind of weird because it's like, all right, we're gonna so the team that wins the coin toss gets the ball and is like, all right, we'll start at like the opponent's 40-yard line, or we want the ball at the 40-yard line. And then the other team is like, all right, well, we're obviously going to take offense, so you don't have only 40 yards to score. I don't know. It's weird.
Well, when I initially read it, I thought the other team could spot the ball, and then the other team automatically starts on offense. So then you would just place it at the 1-yard line. So, but
pretty much, yeah.
But if you do that, then having the other team be able to pick offense or defense, if you put it at their 1-yard line, then they could just pick offense too. Or I meant at your 1-yard line. So then they could pick offense, and then they'd only have 1 yard to score. So that wouldn't make sense either.
Yeah, I mean, I would think everyone would just choose to start at the 50 every time.
Yes, that's what.
Right? Or you just choose to start. You choose the 1-yard line, and then everyone's just going to be like, no, wait, I don't know. I don't know what the right way to play it would be.
Yes.
I don't know.
Well, I was thinking just the 20, because even like on your own 20 or on their 20, because you would expect the team to choose offense. So they still have 80 yards to go. Just like a kickoff, like the average kick return, which is like 20, 30 yards. But yes, I was a little confused too by it. Because, I mean, I would imagine the team that would want to start or we get possession would want it on offense.
Right. I think they should go with like the college way, but maybe start at like the 40 instead of the 20 or something.
Or midfield, yeah, that would work for me.
I like the way college does it, though.
Yes.
And then each team gets a chance to answer. Yeah, maybe like the 40 or 50, though.
Yes.
That way it's not just like, oh, we can just run 3 plays and then kick a field goal. You know?
Yeah.
You actually do have to get it plays.
It was smart that the NFL changed the rules so that field goals don't win games over time.
Right.
So you have to actually score a touchdown on the first possession. But I guess then the second possession, I guess the field goals win, right? Or would that?
Yeah.
I mean, that would be fair. So you can't win with a field goal if you win the coin toss and you get the ball first.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, it's worth considering. I don't think it'll pass with the whatever with that committee, whatever it's called, the game plan committee or gameplay.
Yeah, I would agree.
Or competition committee. Why? I was just blanking on that. Yeah, I don't think the competition committee will pass that. It seems too complicated. But maybe
it does seem a little bit, but I do think they need to do something.
Yes, but maybe it'll evolve into something else that could work. So
yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, let's go to the NBA. They're on their All-Star break right now, and I just saw right before we started this episode that Simmons and Joel Embiid from the Sixers are both going to miss the game tonight. Apparently with no replacement either, from what I understand, because of contract tracing.
Yes, I see that as well. It's the top story on ESPN. Well, fortunately, it happened over the All-Star break, but I'm sure they'll miss a couple games of the season once the All-Star break ends of the Sixers season.
Yeah, it's definitely it'll be interesting. I'm not sure either what teams they were on. Do you see? Were they both on the same team?
I checked the teams earlier. So it says Embiid is on. Oh, they're on different teams. Embiid is on Team Durant. Simmons is on Team LeBron.
Okay, so they'll each team is down by one player at least. So it's not awkward that like one team's gonna be out two players and everything. So
yes.
Okay. Still though, the NBA should not be playing this game.
Yes, I mean I think that was what the players were pretty adamant about not wanting to play it. Yeah, it seemed like it is worthless. Will you be watching?
Huh?
Will you be watching it?
No.
Okay, I don't think I will either. There's a lot of good hockey games on today, and I can find better sporting events to watch.
Also, did I just miss the skills competitions? When are those?
I was wondering that too. I don't think they're having them this year. Or they're doing it after the game. I don't know.
Must be after the game.
Or before the game. I'm Googling it now. It says, I Googled slam dunk competition. It says March 7th.
Okay. Must be before the game, I guess.
Yeah, here's sporting news. Yes, I was surprised too. I thought it would be last night.
Yeah, usually it is. But yeah, I don't see it here.
Here's what you need to know about this is NBA also. Okay, I think I found the schedule. Okay, so the skills challenge and 3-point contest is at 6:30. The All-Star game is at 8, and then the slam dunk competition is halftime of the All-Star game.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be pretty long. I don't know. Maybe they changed the format so it doesn't take 3 hours to do the slam dunk competition.
Wait, there's only 3 players in the dunk contest? Obi Toppin, Cassius Stanley, and Anthony Simons.
Well, that'll make it pretty quick then.
Yeah. Both Jaylen Brown and Tatum are in the 3-point contest.
Yes. I'm looking at that too.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're doing these events during the game.
During the game
night. Not during the game, but like during game night.
Okay,
Yeah, it's not a separate event.
So it must be starting, everything will be starting at like 4 or 5 o'clock, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it says NBA tip-off show is at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Skills Challenge is at 6:30. All-Star Game at 8. Slam Dunk Contest at halftime. Well, yeah, they probably don't have a halftime show, so.
Yeah. All right. Well,
there's no point if there's no fans in the city. Well, they could have a halftime show for TV.
Yeah, but okay.
So we learned something new on the show.
Yeah. Which
we did a great.
Yeah. Speaking of the All-Star game, though, as a Celtics fan, I'm a little mad that they're allowing Jaylen Brown to play in the game. Or just earlier this week, he had to sit out a game due to knee soreness. So he should not be playing in the All-Star game.
Yeah. So they're forcing him to play even though his knee is a...
Well, no one's forcing him unless the league is forcing him to play. But I mean, Devin Booker's sitting out for an injury reason, and he's been playing too, so I don't know why Brown can't sit out.
Yes, it says Brown has tendonitis.
Yeah.
According to Celtics Wire.
Yeah. So I'm a little mad that he's playing in it, but at least the Celtics are on a 4-game winning streak now after it seemed like they had been going the wrong way for a while.
But who have those wins been against?
I know their last one was against Toronto. I think, Toronto, Clippers, Wizards, and Pacers. So Toronto and Clippers are good wins.
Yes.
Pacers is the moderate one.
Yes. Wizards are terrible this year at the bottom of the standings.
But they are back to fourth in the East now.
Yes.
Just barely.
I think they're third in the Atlantic. Okay, you were looking at the conference standings.
Yeah. The divisions don't really matter in basketball.
Yeah. Sixers are still on top of the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah. And Jazz still on top of the West. Speaking of which, those two played earlier this week in what was a very close game. That was kind of decided by some tough officiating at the end of it.
What happened?
I don't remember exactly because it was so long ago now. It was like at the beginning of the week, but I do remember that Donovan Mitchell was not happy about it after the game. I'm trying to see if I can find it here, but
I'm looking too. Oh, to your point, the headline from CBS Sports says Donovan Mitchell says Jazz continually getting screwed by officials, but the stats don't back that up.
Yeah, okay, so Mitchell was ejected, and he said it's really getting out of hand about...
But what was he ejected for?
Trying to think. No, this is as he was leaving, but I don't see the actual what he was ejected for, though.
I'm not.
I do see that he like knocked over a Gatorade bottle at a security guard as he was leaving.
So he got a little angry.
Yeah. But I don't see what he was ejected for here.
Yes, I'm not finding it either.
Apparently there have been a lot of complaints about it.
I found a quote after the game from him. Now I lost it again. But he was saying it's getting effing ridiculous. So
yeah.
He's not happy with NBA officiating.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a very close game. What was the The Sixers won 131-123.
Yes. So I like I said, I'm happy about it. I'm surprised, but I'm happy about it. Then the Flyers were playing well, but they've cooled off a little bit. So so at least one good team in Philly is on top of the league.
Yeah. All right. So also in the NBA, Kevin Garnett was going to try to buy the Timberwolves, but apparently they turned down his offer. So
why was that?
Seems like they should be a team that should be willing to move on to a new owner, especially a guy like Kevin Garnett.
Yes. Well, I'm sure he would be a minority owner. He's depending on how much money he has.
Well, it's just like I think he was the front man of the group.
Oh,
I think other people had the most money, but
yes, and it says to purchase partial ownership of the T-Wolves.
Yeah.
Oh, he would from.
So it would have been like A-Rod when he was trying to buy the Nets. You know, he's a front man, but there's money beyond him. More of the money beyond him.
Yes. Well, and I think it would be good, good PR to have a former star player in the ownership group.
Yeah. But yeah. So they're still not selling to him. And finally, the Atlanta Hawks fired their head coach, who apparently was pretty terrible.
Yes.
And they've had a lot of injuries, but apparently there was like an 11-game stretch recently where the team went 2-9, and the 2 wins they had were the 2 games that he had to miss because his wife was in labor.
Well, that's very telling.
Yeah.
So your assistant coach is a better coach than you.
Yeah, you could say that. And yeah, I don't know.
Yes. Well, let's see where they are in the standings.
They're not terrible. They're middle of the pack, I think.
They're 16-20. So they're not at the bottom, but they're not really they're definitely not a contender at 16-20.
They're actually just 1 game behind Toronto for 8th in the East.
Yes. So yeah, maybe they could turn it around and sneak into the playoffs.
2 games behind Miami for 6th.
Yes.
So, I mean, there's space, but not a lot.
Yes.
So yeah, that's.
No, they could. Yes, the team in front of them, they could. I mean, I would put them all in the same group. That like, from the 5th seed Knicks down to like the Wizards. Like, haven't been impressed with any of those teams really. The Knicks look better, but they're still not looking like great. They're just not looking bad.
I mean, the Knicks, they've been fine, but
I mean, I think it's a drastic improvement from where they had been, but they had been in haven't been a contender for the longest time.
I have noticed Miami is quickly getting back to where we expected them to be.
Yes, they're at 500 now at 18-18.
Like 3 weeks ago, they were well below 500. They were like 12th in the East or something.
Yes, so. Let's see who their wins have been against. Well, they lost to the Hawks, but so their wins have been over the Jazz.
That's a good win.
The Jazz, the Raptors, the Thunder, the Lakers, and the Kings.
the Lakers and the Jazz especially are good wins.
Yeah, so they can play with the top teams in the league.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know if they had injury problems or what, but they've drastically turned their team around.
I think they did.
But before the wins I just mentioned, they had a 3-game losing streak against the Jazz, Clippers, and Warriors, and the Jazz and Clippers are good. The Warriors, not so much.
Yeah.
So maybe they could surprise people.
Yeah. Who's really disappointed this year is the Pelicans. 15-21.
I mean, I wasn't expecting Zion to magically carry the team to an NBA championship.
Well, not him by himself, but they got Steven Adams, who I really like. They have a couple shooters like JJ Redick.
I'm surprised he's still around. He's been floating around the NBA for like the last 5 or 6 years. It's like, oh, JJ Redick's on this team now. Oh, he's on this team. Well, when did that happen?
So I think they got Eric Bledsoe from the Bucks when they traded Holiday. I think Holiday was kind of like the glue that held them all together.
Okay. Well, as I'm looking at the standings now, the Grizzlies are at 500 as well at 16-16. So that's exciting, given that I'm in Tennessee. I haven't actually been able to watch them play because I can't get the local sports channel. But I'm glad they are a top 10 team in the Western Conference. That's promising.
Yeah. All right. So, I think that's about it that we have for the NBA, right?
Yes. Some stories and a recap of the standings.
Time for the MLB. And we're going to start with, there's actually only one MLB story this week. The Mariners manager, kind of in a follow-up to last week's issue with their CEO, their manager said the players will let you know when they're ready to be called up. And then the guy that was one of the issues from last week with the CEO, Jared Kalenic, and the next game immediately hit a home run. So I think he's ready, but unfortunately, apparently now he's on their injured list with a bad shoulder. So
that's not good.
Yeah, kind of like he was ready, and then he immediately gets injured. So, but just a little bit of follow up to that issue last week with our CEO. So,
yes.
That's about it for. Well, when this guy is up, he'll be a good player for them. It looks like.
Yes.
Okay, let's go into hockey now. I found this sequence of events to be a little funny. Are you familiar with Ryan Ellis?
Yes.
What position does he play? Because I don't know that much.
I believe he's a defenseman.
Okay, for the Nashville Predators.
Yes.
But Ryan Ellis, the race car driver in NASCAR, went on Twitter and tweeted at the Preds, "Trade me, please."
I mean, they are struggling.
Yeah. So the race car driver asked the Predators to trade the hockey player Ryan Ellis. So that was funny.
Well, I'm sure Ryan Ellis, the hockey player, would want to be traded. He's the Predators are struggling this season. So
yeah.
And they're
what's funny too is the NASCAR driver, his profile picture is with him in the Stanley Cup. And he's a Capitals fan.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder where he's from. Virginia or Maryland.
Probably he went to Appalachian State, it looks like.
Okay.
So
Now I'm curious who he is. I found some information on him, but I can't find find a bio.
The race car driver, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I thought that was a pretty funny story.
And I've been following NASCAR for a year or two now, and I didn't even recognize the name. So he clearly is not a contender.
No, not really. It doesn't look like. Also, the other big story in hockey right now is the hit from the Washington Bruins game the other night.
Oh, yeah, the boarding penalty.
Yeah, Tom Wilson hitting Brandon Carlo, sent him to the hospital. Wilson got suspended 7 games. I
see that as well.
Bruins are saying Carlo will be out for a while.
Wilson has a history of making bad decisions like this. So,
yeah, that's why I'm a little bit surprised it was only 7 games that he got.
Yes.
I would have thought it would be a little bit more like 10 maybe. I don't know.
Yes. Yes. And
honestly, what they should do when a guy knocks an opponent's player out of the lineup like that, they should say, "Okay, you can come back when he comes back."
That would make sense. Yes.
Right? Like you're out for as long as that guy's out, the guy that you took out. And then people would probably stop doing that.
Yes.
If a guy misses 20 games, then you miss 20 games.
Yes, that seems fair.
Yeah.
But I don't think I actually saw a video of the hit, so how malicious it was.
Like, the guy's head was down a little bit, and, like, the Bruins guy was trying to play the puck, and the Wilson wasn't. Kind of going for the hit.
Okay.
That was the biggest issue that I saw with it, like, that he wasn't trying to make a play, he was just going in for the hit.
Oh, okay, so that's why. Yeah. Well, and, I mean, that's a pretty big blow to both teams to have players out, because the Bruins are 4th in ESPN power rankings.
Yeah, the Bruins have actually fallen in the standings a little bit, it looks like.
Yes, and then the Capitals have been losing momentum too. So to lose,
the Capitals are above the Bruins right now. The Islanders actually jumped them both.
Yes,
but yeah, the Islanders have 32 points, the Caps 30, and the Bruins 29.
Wow. Okay, I'm pulling up the standings now. Yes, it's still. As I've been following the Capitals this week, I just remember them losing, but apparently my memory is incorrect, because they've only had like 3 losses in their last like 10 games. So that's better than I recall.
Yeah.
But, yeah, 3 losses to the Rangers, the Penguins, and the Bruins. And then they split their series with Boston and Pittsburgh.
Yeah. So. Well, one thing I'm noticing, like the goal differential, the Capitals have a very good offense, but a terrible defense as well. I mean, they've scored 76 goals and they've given up 75. So it's a little bit surprised that they're doing so well with a defense that's not that great.
That is concerning.
By the way, it looks like the worst defense in the league right now is the Ottawa Senators.
Yes.
They've given up 102 goals.
Wow. That that explains a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't win. I'm surprised the Preds aren't there. They give up like 5 goals a game to.
They've actually only given up 79 goals. Problem is they've only scored 57.
Well, it feels like a lot more then.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at that as well.
And by comparison, Tampa Bay and Vegas have only given up 45 goals all year.
Well, that's why they're doing so well.
Yeah. Yeah, those are two of the best teams in the league.
Yes, and Toronto was ranked number 1 in ESPN Power's ranking. So clearly that's they appear to be a threat. According to ESPN's writers, that's they're the best team in the NHL.
Yeah,
the Golden Knights.
They're in the conversation.
Yeah,
Also,
the Golden Knights have 70 goals for and 45 against. So that's But they have, since their inception, they've always had a pretty dominant offense.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, the Panthers and Hurricanes are both two surprising teams for where they are.
Yes.
All right, I think that's it about hockey, right?
Yep.
College basketball next.
Yes.
And Illinois just had a great game this week against Michigan. They're looking like a big threat.
And Ohio State.
Yeah, they played last night, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't see the final score of that game.
I'm not sure.
I know it was close. Okay, they won 73-68.
Yes.
Oklahoma State beat West Virginia also yesterday.
I think Oklahoma State could make a run.
Yeah.
I guess they would be. I mean, I could see them in the Elite Eight. I don't know if they're good enough to get the Final Four, but they're definitely.
We have to see what their seeding is, because I think the number 1 seeds have all looked great. I think Michigan and Illinois are going to be 2 of my Final Four teams this year.
Yes. Well, and Villanova lost last night to Providence. Yeah.
So Villanova, they lost Colin Gillespie for the year. Yeah. He was their best player too. So I think
Florida State lost as well.
Yeah, I think that's going to pretty much end Villanova's season, even if they do get like a top 3 or 4 seed without him. I mean, they did just lose to Providence, so it wouldn't surprise me to see them as like the first or second round exit.
Yes, you're probably right. The one team I'm hesitant about is West Virginia. They looked good earlier in the season, but lately they haven't looked as good.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I think they're very talented, but maybe they just can't put it all together when it counts, you know.
Yes. I think Alabama could be an Elite Eight team, but I hope they're not a Final Four team. I just want to see them, if they're going to win, just be good at football. Don't be good at football and basketball.
Right now, I'm looking at the bracketology page on ESPN. They have Illinois as the 1 seed in Region 4, with Alabama the 2 seed and West Virginia the 3 seed. I think West Virginia could beat Alabama.
Yes. No, that's definitely realistic.
Which would mean West Virginia would get into the Elite Eight, where they'd probably face Illinois. I think Illinois would win that.
Yes. No, I'm looking at the bracket now. They Tennessee's a 6 seed. That's generous since they've been going backwards. And I believe that they were losing to Florida at the start of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, Villanova's a 3 seed too, but I think that's subject to change.
Okay. I still don't see Duke, by the way, in here.
No, I think Duke lost to UNC again. Right. So they're I don't think they're in the conversation at all, which is crazy to think that there will be an NCAA tournament without Duke.
UNC is in here as a 9 seed.
Yes, UNC's been significantly better.
Yeah.
I believe Virginia just won the ACC regular season title, but we'll see how the ACC tournament plays out.
Yeah.
Maryland and Virginia Tech are 8 and 9 seeds. So I'm surprised about that for Maryland. I didn't think they played that well. Virginia Tech's been a pretty good team all season.
Right. Oh, looking at the bracket they have, Baylor's region looks very easy.
What region's that?
Region 2. They have Iowa as the 2 seed.
Purdue that was the bracket I was just looking at.
Yeah, Villanova's in there as a 3 seed, which I just said I could see them losing to Oklahoma in the second round.
Yes, no. Yeah, and then they have Oregon, but I haven't seen Oregon play that much, but I don't think Oregon would scare Oregon or Oklahoma would scare Baylor.
Yeah. And looking at the Region 1, we could potentially get Oklahoma State and Gonzaga in the, what would that be, 16? That would be a really good matchup. I could see Oklahoma State winning that.
I was about to say that as well. Texas is the 3 seed at this time. That seems a little high, but I think they could.
I think Oklahoma State could eventually swap with Texas to take the 3 seed there.
Yes.
And Florida State is only a 5 seed. They lost to Notre Dame the other day.
Yes, that's what I was surprised by that. But I think Texas underperformed, and then Virginia had a win yesterday to win the ACC. Yes, I'm not really seeing any major threats. Okay. Oh, I guess Virginia or Texas Tech could win Region 4. I really like the Texas Tech team.
Yeah, Texas Tech is really good. I don't think they're not going to get by Illinois, though.
I don't know. I might pick them for the upset. I know you like Illinois.
Illinois being Michigan was just so impressive for me. And then doing it again against Ohio State.
Yes.
But
then in Region 3, Michigan is the 1 seed.
Yeah.
And Wisconsin's a 5 seed, but I feel like they've underperformed this year.
Yeah. No, Wisconsin's a 6 seed.
Oh.
Colorado's 5.
My mistake. Arkansas is a 3 seed. That seems a little high for them.
No, they're a really good year.
Yes.
Where are they right now? They're 12th in the country rankings wise.
Yes.
So
and it seems like they're getting better.
Yeah.
As the season's gone on. I really haven't seen any Arkansas games, but I don't even think that they were a top 25 team to start the season.
I like their coach, Musselman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and when I went to the SEC tournament a year or two ago, I caught one of their games, and their offense is fun to watch. They have a nickname for it. I can't remember what it's called, but they play up tempo basketball, and and their games are fast.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so it's almost time for the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, next Sunday I think is Selection Sunday, right?
Yes, and I think I'm more excited about it this year because it was canceled last year, and it won't be the same without fans, but it'll be nice to have it.
Yeah,
that was pretty depressing last year without the NCAA tournament.
Yeah. By the way, Houston is on right now against Memphis. Actually, it's a pretty close game. 39-35. Houston is up.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'll watch that after we finish this podcast.
Yeah, they just started the second half, so.
Oh, then maybe I won't be able to watch it, but I can follow it online.
Yeah. Anyway, the other story from college basketball, I thought, and apparently this kind of applies to both college and the NBA, but Nate Oates, the Alabama coach, has basically said that like the mid-range game is dead. Like he either wants his players taking like layups and shooting inside the paint, or he wants them shooting threes. He doesn't want them shooting in the area like between the paint and the 3-point line. He's like, don't shoot from there.
Well, I don't know. It seems like just depending on your offense that you can score a lot of points from mid-range jumpers.
Yeah, but like, so his analytics, I guess, I heard explain that like it's more efficient to actually shoot a three and like miss it and miss like if you shoot 40% from three and you shoot 50% from two, you'd rather have you take the three and take the chance of the one extra point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it's not like he's saying if you're open and you have a 2-point shot, don't take it. But he's saying if there's an option between a 2 and 3, take the 3. And I saw on Twitter a breakdown of the 200 most popular shot locations over this season compared to like that chart 10 years ago. This year, the locations were all either inside the paint or outside the 3, nothing in 2-point range.
Okay.
And 10 years ago, it was like much more spread out.
Yes.
So
well, and maybe that's why the NCAA is moving the 3-pointer back, is because it's become more common for teams to shoot 3-pointers.
Yeah.
So they want to make it more challenging.
I also saw the Alabama practices. Their practice court has different shooting lines than the standard court. You get 2 points if you shoot at the rim. You get 1 point if it's a mid-range 2. You get 3 points if it's a college 3. And 4 points if you shoot from like Steph Curry distance.
I mean,
he's trying to like re-educate his players on where to shoot from, I guess. Yeah.
Well, and the thing about it too is if you are you have a good rebounding team, even if you miss a lot of threes, if you can get rebounds and then just get layups, then you'll still be able to score off those misses, obviously.
Yeah.
But still, it wouldn't make too much sense for a team that's not good from 3-point range and not good at rebounding to either shoot threes and layups or not.
Yeah.
Like we don't have any 3-point shooters, but we shoot them a lot, and then we lose the battle on the boards.
Yeah. All right. So I think that's it that I got for college, right?
Yeah, as far as I know,
Right, so let's go. There was a big UFC fight last night.
Yes.
Had 3 title fights.
No, I don't think I've seen that dumb.
What, 3 title fights?
Yeah, that's I mean, I'm sure it happens, but I don't remember that happening recently.
Yeah. So I think the biggest fight was the one for, what was the title? I know
the main event was Jan Blachowicz,
I think.
and Israel Adesanya.
Yeah, I like Adesanya.
No, and I recognize his name. I've never heard of Blachowicz, but
I've heard of him. So Adesanya was previously undefeated.
Yes.
But it was going up a lot of weight to try to get the light heavyweight title. But it ended up taking his first loss. So
yes, I see that here. And then Amanda Nunez defeated Megan Anderson, who I've never heard of, with a reverse triangle armbar. And then Aljamain Sterling defeated.
Yeah, that was the disqualification one.
Yes.
Which, did you see that one?
I saw highlights of it.
Yeah, it was kind of a dirty hit, I'll say.
Yeah.
I was like trying to get up, and the guy, what's his name? Peter Yan. Okay. He just like kneed him in the face, basically.
And I thought if you're down and you have a hand down, you can't get knee in the face.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So, and I think I mentioned this before. I met Aljamain Sterling at a fight that in Fairfax. When it was UFC Fairfax, he was not on the card, but he went to support other fighters that trained at his gym, and also I met Herb Dean at the UFC fight here in Nashville, and and he was the ref for the main event fight. So yes, and then I'm not familiar with any of the other names of the fighters on the under. Oh, Dominic Cruz, I did see that win. Dominic Cruz over Casey Kenny. That was a brawl, a lot of striking, which is
I don't know
the fights I like to watch.
Those guys.
What?
I don't know much about either of them.
I think I just recognize the name Dominic Cruz because he's been around forever.
Okay.
Yes. So.
And the women's fight, Nunez. She's like I still feel like everyone still thinks of Ronda Rousey as like the greatest of that class, like the women's class, but I think she's taken over the title pretty easily.
Yes. Let me see. I'm pulling up her record now. Okay, she's 21-4.
Nunez, right? Yeah.
Yes. And she has 13 KOs or TKOs.
Yeah.
So, but yes. So, I'm not sure who her 4 losses are against because I thought she was undefeated. But yes, she seems like she's been the most dominant woman in MMA recently, including a win over Ronda Rousey in 2016.
Yeah.
Holly Holm, she defeated. Those are the 2 big names I recognize.
Yeah, I know.
Misha Tate. Okay. No, and her losses are to Kat Zintano, which I recognize.
I've heard of her.
And then Sarah Diatello in Invicta FC.
Yeah.
And Anna Maria in 2008 in Prime MMA, whoever that is. So So she lost early in her career. Oh, then she lost to Alex Davis in Strikeforce. So, so she only has one loss in the UFC, and then 3 losses came in when she was fighting for smaller promoters.
Yeah. Oh. All right, so I think that wraps up our thoughts on the MMA card, right?
Yes. Yeah, that was pretty much it. Just wanted to summarize it briefly here.
Yeah. All right, we're back. And our fails today are presented by Manscaped.
What can you tell us about Manscaped?
Yeah. Well, this tournament season, take care of your hair and holes with the best tools for the job. We're talking about our sponsors, Manscaped, the global leaders in male grooming from head to toe. When the clock winds down in March, be clutched and avoid the upset with the Manscaped Performance Package to keep all your hair and holes tamed. Manscaped is trusted by over 2 million men worldwide. Join the Manscaped movement and start taking care of your balls today with 20% off plus free shipping by going to manscaped.com and using code XXX for our exclusive offer.
Yes, your bracket isn't supposed to be perfect, but with Manscaped Performance Package, you can be confident that your nose, ears, and balls are.
Yeah. And do you have any thoughts about people with long nose or ear hair? Because it's not great.
No, that's not a good look, guys. So
yeah, Manscaped will help you take care of it. The Manscaped Performance Package is the ultimate men's hygiene bundle and #1 overall seed this season.
Yeah.
Part of the package includes the ear and nose hair trimmer called Weed Whacker. It provides proprietary skin-safe technology, which helps reduce nicks, snags, and tugs in those delicate holes. Look, fellas, 79% of partners polled admitted that long nose hair is a major turnoff. So use the best tool for the job out there, the Weed Whacker.
And let's not forget about the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and Crop Reviver Ball Toner to maximize your balls' hygiene routine and keep you fresh and ready for anything.
Yep, and also the Lawnmower 3.0 trimmer, the best trimmer on the market for your balls, butt, and body. It checks every box for a Final Four run.
Yes.
Manscaped
also offers the Crop Mob Wipes, cool and refreshing ball, butt, and body wipes for the peak male hygiene and extra care where it matters most.
Yeah, I think that one must be new because I haven't heard of that one before. Huh?
Yeah, so it is their newest product on the market, guys. And
okay, yeah, so I'm gonna have to check that one out. But the performance package also comes with 2 free gifts: the Manscaped boxers and the Shed travel bag. And your purchase goes to a good cause. They partner with Alex Caruso and the Testicular Cancer Society to bring awareness to testicular cancer, men's health, and early cancer detection.
Manscaped is committed to raising awareness for the most common form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35 and giving support for fighters, survivors, and families impacted by testicular cancer as part of their We Save Balls initiative. Get 20% off free shipping with code XXX at manscaped.com.
Thank you, Manscaped, for making our holes look sexy during the dance. Every purchase at manscaped.com goes towards contributions made towards the Testicular Cancer Society. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code XXX I'm confused by this. Code?
Get it right, Drew. Promote our sponsors correctly.
Yeah. I mean, they had the one code up there, and now they have the code at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com, and use code.
No, use code XXX.
Okay.
Let's stick with XXX for this
promotion. I'm confused why it says code there. But when things get hairy, make sure to call on Manscaped in clutch time. Okay.
Yes, enough talking about.
Well, let's just say we can use that confusion over which code to use as one of our fails today.
And I only got 2 fails, so we'll continue the fails rolling with Les Miles, who has now been placed on administrative leave for allegations from his conduct at LSU.
Yeah.
And so I believe he was basically hitting on college students that worked in close proximity to him. So ladies in the athletic department that he I'm not seeing it here, but I believe in another story I read that he okay. Here we go.
I heard that he kissed one girl. I didn't hear about him actually having sex with anyone.
No. Here's a good summary of it. On Thursday, a report released on behalf of LSU showed that in 2013, an internal investigation at the school accused Miles of inappropriate behavior towards female students, including allegations that he contacted some via Facebook and text, met them off campus alone, and kissed at least one of them. The report did not find he had any sexual relationships with any of them. Miles strongly denied kissing the student, saying he didn't do anything wrong and that he was mentoring the young woman at the university. So
it's not right for you to use your position of mentorship to try to start a relationship.
Yeah. So, and no, it was not technically sexual, but it was. He was according to those allegations, he was attempting to be intimate and develop a more closer relationship with this young woman.
Yeah. Also, if I were him and he got fired from Kansas, I'd be like, yes, I don't have to coach the worst team in the country anymore.
Yes.
The worst college football team in the country, because Kansas, even with him, has still been terrible.
I'm glad you mentioned that. The 67-year-old Miles is 3-18 in his first 2 seasons at Kansas, including 0-9 in 2020.
Yeah.
So they're in the bottom of the Big 12. Maybe they should just stick to basketball since.
Right. And they've had relevant players come through there. I don't know. I know Aqib Talib went there. He's the one that comes to mind the most.
But he graduated a long time ago, hasn't?
Yeah.
he didn't play Kansas in the last 2 seasons.
They're a long way from relevance right now. So
yes. Yeah, so no, it appeared. I mean, I would not be surprised if he was fired if he's on leave. I mean, they can't. He's not winning there, and then they have these allegations. But, and if they fire him for cause, then maybe they don't have to pay him his buyout, whatever that may be. So,
right.
I mean, that's what happened with Tennessee. So, we found recruiting violation, so we're going to fire Pruitt without or no, they tried to, and then he got his attorneys, and I guess they negotiated something.
Yeah, I'm sure he has a pretty rich deal, too.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, all the Big 10, Big 12, and SEC, the Power 5 conferences pay their coaches outrageous salaries, even if they don't win. Actually, let's see what his salary is. I'm sure it's documented somewhere. And the crazy part, too, about college football is usually the college coaches are the highest paid state employees in the state.
Yeah.
So, and yes, his salary is $200,000 $2.76 million per year.
Yeah.
So he's making $3 million a year to go 3-8. That's not a bad deal. I don't think anybody actually expects him to win at Kansas anyway.
Yeah.
So that's just so ridiculous. You can get paid $3 million to be a bad football coach.
All right. Yeah.
So yet they can't find the money to pay the players. How about you don't pay your crappy coaches $3 million a year?
They do it under the table. Let's be honest.
Until they get caught.
Yeah.
And then they suspend the players that are currently at the school, even though the players before were the ones that were receiving donations from the boosters.
Yeah.
Also, another part of the hypocrisy of NCAA sports is that it's okay for donors to donate $10 million to the school to build a new locker room, but they can't donate $200 to a student to buy lunch for a month or two.
Yeah.
So
okay.
You just want to make sure all the money goes right to the school and right to the coaches and the facilities, but not to the players.
Yeah.
So enough about that rant.
Yeah.
And I saw that what I said about comparing the boosters paying for buildings. I actually heard somebody say that on ESPN 150. So that was not an original idea, but it was such a good point that I thought I would reiterate their statement. So sticking with college sports is I just saw this last night was a Creighton basketball coach was suspended for plantation analogy.
Yeah, I saw that too.
He could have chose any other word to be like, hey guys, let's just stay on campus and focus on basketball. But he had to make it. He had to say plantation. So
yeah. I mean, there's just some words that you just can't say, and especially in a situation like that.
Yes. So, I mean, I was just thinking it would be ironic if it was like he coached for an SEC school or a school in the South that was actually built on a plantation, or like near a plantation. Be like, yeah,
Creighton's in like Indiana or something, isn't it?
I think it's in Nebraska.
Nebraska? Okay.
I could be wrong. Now I'm curious. So, yes, and I think it's a Catholic school too.
Is it?
Yeah. I'm not certain, but yes, it's located in Omaha, Nebraska.
Nebraska.
I like how I googled the specific address. So, and what came up was 2500 California Plaza, Omaha, Nebraska. If I was a recruit, I'd be really excited until I saw the Omaha, Nebraska. I was like, California Plaza? Oh, I'll play. I'm getting recruited by a school in LA. Nope. Omaha, Nebraska. But
there can't be much to do in Nebraska either anyway. So
no. And that's probably why they have the College World Series there every year. They're like, it'll draw a lot of people in Omaha, Nebraska. I mean, there's nothing else to do. And according to their website, it is a Jesuit Catholic university. So that's not very Christian to make metaphors and analogies that are referencing our past history of a past dark history.
Yeah.
So those are my two fails. What are your fails for the week? I'm sure you have plenty for us.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to start with I don't know. I guess it's It's a fail on Rudy Giuliani, I guess, for what he has to, for a guy that I'm sure hates this type of lifestyle. Now has to listen to his daughter talk about it. His daughter did an interview where she talked about how she likes to be, how she likes to have sexual encounters with couples. Being a third person with I'm sure Rudy Giuliani loves hearing that.
Yeah. Well, and I'm seeing, I just Googled Rudy Giuliani daughter. Yes, I see that she loves threesomes, and then she is also polyamorous. So yes, I'm sure he is happy about her how open she is about her sexuality.
Yeah.
So, but I think that Giuliani is more interested in assisting Trump with whatever Trump is doing than his daughter's sex life.
Yeah, I don't know, but so, I'm surprised his daughter looks as young as she does, because I would think he's like 70 and she's 32 or something. So.
Oh, so she's like our age.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's, I guess he had her later then.
Yeah. All right. Next up, this is another kind of funny one. Do you know who Mad Dog Russo is?
Not off the top of my head.
He's on MLB Network. Chris Russo. I think
I don't have MLB Network.
Huh?
I don't have MLB Network.
Yeah, I think he used to be on like WFAN, the New York sports radio.
Okay.
Like do stuff with my friend. Huh?
Okay, I found him. Yeah, Chris Russo.
Yeah. So as he was going off air the other week, it sounded like he farted. Going into a commercial break. Then he mistakenly thinks Michigan State's Tom Izzo accused him of farting after he proved that he didn't fart.
Was this a Barstool story?
Huh?
Was this a Barstool story?
Well, they found the tweets from an article called Funhouse, or from a Twitter called Funhouse. But yeah, so he proves the day after that he didn't fart on there. He was actually just blowing his nose, and it sounded like it. He
must be really stuffed up then. If it,
yeah, but so there's a guy at WFAN named Tom Izzo who retweeted it, and then this guy Mad Dog thought it was Michigan State's Tom Izzo, not the guy that works at WFAN. So
that just sounds like a disaster.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a little bit ridiculous. All right, so next up, did you hear about the Nike VP, what happened with her?
No, what happened?
So she was forced to step down after it was discovered that her son was using her company credit card and company discount to buy up Nike shoes and then resell them at a massive profit.
That's selfish.
Well, I mean, she didn't know any. Well, she probably did know. But yeah, her son had been running a business, buying and reselling Nike shoes, buying them at a discount and then reselling them at a massive up hike. She was serving as the VP and general manager of North America.
Yes, I pulled up the story on CNBC now. Still, like, it seems like she shouldn't have let him just have free access to her credit card.
Yeah. Yeah. And her discount too.
Yes. according to this story, she worked for Nike for 25 years. So, and her son's 19. So still, that's not. I would not trust my 19-year-old son with my credit card.
Yeah. Yeah. But so that business is down now, his shoe reselling business.
Yeah. Well, that's, from what I've heard about that is a very lucrative market. So
it can be, yeah. Especially
you have to know what shoes to buy and how much people are willing to buy. You have to obviously buy them at a affordable price, and then you just sell them at whoever to the highest bidder.
Yeah. And it helps when you have a company discount to go with it.
Yes.
So, all right. We're going to Iran for the next fail. Officials in Iran are outraged after porn star Alexis Texas was featured in a music video with an Iranian pop star.
Oh, I saw that. I thought that was hilarious. Like,
yeah.
Who cares? It's a let the pop star put whoever they want in the music video.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a different culture over there, although I think, I don't know, but it is kind of funny that they're so mad at that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I saw that. I didn't think it would be a fail, at least to me.
Yeah.
What other fails do we have?
Okay. Last two are both about people getting arrested.
Always fun.
The first one, an escaped convict who escaped during a 17-year sentence was recaptured after coming out of hiding to buy Call of Duty.
Clearly, he really wanted Call of Duty.
Yeah. So he was on the run for armed robbery. This is in England, by the way. Yeah, so he assaulted two officers and had to be restrained on the ground after he was stopped in Birmingham. He kicked one officer in the nuts and punched another in the face. And he had been on the run since last year during his 17-year sentence. So, risked it all for a video game.
So he's a very loyal customer.
Yeah.
He's willing to risk going to jail for Call of Duty.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty good publicity for Call of Duty. Whoever the maker is of that game.
Yeah. And finally, a woman in Oklahoma was arrested after police managed to track her down due to Cheeto dust.
Oh, I heard that on the radio. I forgot about it, but I had heard about it. So they caught her orange-handed.
Yeah, actually, it was on her teeth. So a woman at the residence told responding officers that she was home with two small children when a woman climbed inside through a window. The suspect left behind a bag of Cheetos and a bottle of water on the floor near the open window. And then the suspect was found with residue from a snack on her teeth. Okay.
So she's not that bright.
No, maybe just swallow your evidence a little bit better.
Or you wait till you're done.
Done eating your Cheetos to rob a house?
No, you wait until you rob the house and then have a snack after. You don't have a snack during the robbery.
Oh, you can have it before.
Yeah, that too, and just wash your hands.
Maybe she broke into the house for the Cheetos. she was driving around the house and she was like, I bet that house has Cheetos. I'm going to break into there.
Oh, that reminds me of a story. I don't know if I've told this on the podcast before, but when I was working at a sporting goods store here in the greater Nashville area, there was a robbery, and I pull up. I was working in the afternoon, and I see the cop cars there, and apparently these two, they two people that were high on something were like they're slowly getting all this stuff together that they were planning on stealing, but they bought a soda. They bought a soda, but they were trying to steal like guns at this sporting goods store.
Okay.
Or guns or ammo. Maybe it was ammo that they're stacking up all the ammo, and they're like, we're going to steal this, but they spent like a half an hour trying to like organize it.
Yeah. And they were like, we'll actually buy this $1 soda.
Yes. Or like whatever, or maybe it was a bag of chips. Like they bought a snack, but then they were trying to steal ammo from this sporting goods store. So clearly they were very high on something.
Yeah.
So basically what I'm saying is that the sporting goods store I worked at attracted pretty bright, well-educated customers.
Yeah. All right. Should we get into our athlete of the day?
Who is it? I've never heard of this person before, so you can tell
Tony Conigliaro. So he's a Red Sox player. Doing a baseball guy this week because spring training's underway. So
yes, spring is here.
Time to get some baseball guys into the mix. He kind of fits into the realm of the guys that we've done. Like we did a couple other Boston athletes like Reggie Lewis and Len Bias. You kind of fit, and Robert Edwards, where their careers were cut really short due to unfortunate incidents. This guy was hit in the eye with a baseball. He kind of had a reputation for standing very close to the plate.
Well, that's what happens when you do that.
He was supposed to be like the next in the line of like Ted Williams and Carl Yastrzemski for like Red Sox great players, you know?
Yes.
You've heard of both of them probably, right?
Yes.
Okay. He was supposed to be like that type of player. Played outfield. And yeah, so getting hit in the eye was not his first example of an injury from it. Let's see. So let's see here. It says he was often hit by pitchers, suffered his first injury May 24th, 1964. He was hit in the left wrist, causing a hairline fracture, but he only missed 4 games from that. Let's see. Then July 26th, the same year, he got hit by another pitch and broke his arm. He missed him only a month again until September 4th. In 1965, he was hit by another pitch that broke his left wrist. So it was the third broken bone for him in 14 months.
Gee.
Yeah.
He seemed very injury prone.
Well, he just keeps standing very close to the plate and getting hit with 95-mile-an-hour fastballs.
Then, don't do that. It's one thing to stand close to the plate, but if you're going to do that, then try to make sure you get hit in the leg or the shoulder where you have some muscle, not just not somewhere where you don't have any protection.
Yeah.
And nowadays, the players wear padding on their arms and so that they can withstand those hits.
Yeah. So, in 1966, he had no serious injuries, so he was fine that year. But in 1967, he got hit by a fastball in spring training where he hurt his back. Let's see.
So that's a lot of injuries, and
yeah.
And when he played, the medicine was not where it is today.
Right. So then in 1967 again was when he got hit in the eye with a ball. Let's see if I see the last exact date. August 18th. He got struck by a fastball in the face, barely missing his temple, but hitting him in the left eye and cheekbone.
Damn, that sounds pretty painful.
Yeah, look up a picture. Just type in look up the picture of him in the hospital.
I don't know. I don't think I want to see that. I can imagine it's pretty horrific.
I mean, it's a big bruise.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah. He did come back to play by 1969, but he was beginning to lose eyesight in that eye. He still managed to come back and hit 20 home runs and drove in 82 RBI. Won the comeback player of the year. And then 1970 he had 36 home runs, 116 RBI.
Okay.
So he'd come back and had a pretty good comeback, but his eyesight was starting to get a little bit worse.
Well, that's what I would be worried about as a player, because once you lose your eyesight, there's not really much you can do, or you lose an eye, and that's why they have they make it mandatory now for all the NHL players to wear face shields, because if you lose an eye, that eye's not coming back. I mean, I guess you can have a glass eye, but I don't know if those actually work, or if they're just to look like you have an eye there, not just an empty socket.
Yeah. So the Red Sox then trade him after 1970 to the California Angels, where he was pretty much terrible there, and his eyesight got much worse. But he did manage to make a comeback with the Red Sox. In 1974, he returned to the Red Sox for another try. And he did make the roster, but let's see. I'm looking. He only played in 21 games when he returned. So he didn't.
So he was pretty much done at that point.
Yeah. So really, his eyesight just was the death of his career, and he started off really well, hitting 30 home runs a year, being an MVP candidate. And that's about it. After baseball, he opened a restaurant and went into announcing. But unfortunately, he, I believe, he had a heart attack in 1982 and ended up passing away from that. Or no, actually, he did live another 8 years until age 45.
What? So he only lived to 45 years old?
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
So then he had a heart attack at 37?
Yeah, looks like it.
Well, That's pretty scary. I mean, heart attacks are scary at any age, but much less that young.
Yeah, especially for a former pro athlete, too.
Yes. And we have a score update. Memphis and Houston are tied at the end of the second half. So they're going into overtime in Conference USA.
That's a good game.
Yeah.
I'm surprised, actually. I would thought Houston would be winning easily.
Yeah, Memphis has had good teams, but they're not good this season. Yeah. And Tennessee is turning it around, and they're up by 11 points on Florida this afternoon. So it's 65-54. So, which would be a good win for Tennessee because they haven't really seemed to play well against good SEC teams all season.
Yeah. So let's get into, we're going to switch it up for this week. Instead of our winners and losers, we're going to introduce a debating segment. This week, we're going to talk about what the dream match is for a pro athlete cage match.
Yes.
Not non-fighters, of course. We're going one from the NFL, one from the NBA, one from baseball, right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So I think I'll do my NBA, you do yours, then we'll do NFLs, then we'll do baseball. Sound good?
Okay. I mean,
so
I'd have to think about it.
All right. So for my NBA one, I have Kevin Garnett in his prime, obviously not right now, but Kevin Garnett in his prime versus Draymond Green.
Okay. Yeah, no, I Draymond Green seems pretty aggressive.
Yeah, and Kevin Garnett is probably one of the scarier people I've ever seen.
But I don't think Kevin Garnett would do great since he's tall and skinny. So he just has to be really quick in a fight.
Green is tall too, though. He's not as skinny, but I think Garnett is more ferocious.
Yes.
Oh wow, that was a crazy shot from Houston there.
And there's a little miscommunication.
Oh, Houston won. Houston won.
Okay, well you were right.
Yeah, that was a crazy shot to end it, though. I thought that was to tie it, but it was to end it. Okay, anyway. So what's your NBA one?
I'm not really sure. I thought we'd each have a player, but
we're gonna go. You just want to do one player?
Yeah. Well, that's what I was thinking, but I couldn't.
All right, so let's do it that way.
I didn't even think of aggressive NBA players to.
Okay. Well, I'll put in Kevin Garnett. Who do you want to put in?
Give me some options, and then I'll pick one. I didn't know how to research this because I wasn't sure how we were going to.
I would say Draymond Green. I would say Dennis Rodman.
Actually, maybe I would take LeBron James.
Ron Artest.
Oh yeah, I had thought about that, but I think I'll take LeBron James. What?
Ben Wallace was a scary guy.
No, I remember the Ron Artest fight in the stands against the Pistons.
Yeah.
No, I think I'll go with LeBron James. He is the best athlete in the NBA. He's 6'8", 6'9", a very strong athlete. So he definitely does not come across as somebody that's aggressive or a fighter, but I think just his pure athleticism would win a fight.
Yeah, he's more athletic than Garnett, but Garnett's more aggressive.
Yes, but I think he's also got more weight on Garnett.
LeBron, yeah, probably.
Because I don't know what his Okay, yeah, he's 6'9". So, but I'm
6'11".
That's right. Okay, so Garnett's got 2 inches on him.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not sure what his weight is off the top of my head. So I think that would, and I guess it's an easy pick just because he's the best player in the NBA.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's not as good as he was in the beginning of his career, but I mean, I think he's 6'9", 250. So I think I'd be okay with him fighting in a back alley.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So let's do our NFL ones. Who do you got for NFL? Run into the ring.
When we spoke on the phone, I think I'll stick with Ray Lewis in his prime. I wouldn't want to get anywhere near him if he was out to get me. So
yeah, I think I will go. See, when I had done this myself, I picked a matchup that I thought was gonna be funnier, but I picked Brady versus Manning.
Who was it?
Brady versus Manning. Brady versus Peyton. Because neither one of them.
I like that thought. I would go with Tom Brady.
Yeah,
Tom Brady's a little more mobile than Manning.
Yeah, neither one of them is a fighter, so.
No,
that would have been funny. Like Brady would probably be more aggressive, but no. If I have to pick someone against Ray Lewis, I'm going with someone bigger and
faster.
Oh no, he's probably the guy I'm thinking of. Probably isn't going to be faster, but I think I might go Warren Sapp.
Oh, that would be a good matchup.
Yeah,
but Warren Sapp wouldn't be that quick.
No, he wouldn't, but he has the size. And
yes.
I feel like he would not go down easy. I was thinking of like Bill Romanowski.
Yes. Well, and I mean, I think that Ray Lewis would just tackle him and put him in some sort of chokehold pretty quickly into that fight, given that he has a 1,600 tackles.
If he could tackle Warren Sapp.
Sapp. I mean, he'd probably have to get a running start, but
yeah. No, that would be a good matchup, I think. I was trying to think of like an offensive lineman, but I couldn't really think of a good one.
But offensive linemen are not usually that mobile, like laterally or
no.
The one guy I could see would be Alejandro Villanueva. I recognize that name.
He's the Steelers' offensive tackle who was in the Army.
Oh.
So I feel like he can handle himself.
Or Troy Polamalu or Ed Reed. Like I keep going to defensive guys that are explosive.
Yeah, I know. But I would like to see Brady versus Manning fight.
I doubt that'll happen. But who knows?
Yeah, I would agree, but it would be funny.
Or see who Jake Paul fights next, which former washed-up athlete will be wanting to fight him as he pursues a semi-professional.
He's fighting a former UFC guy, Ben Askren. Ben Askren. Anyway, let's see. Let's go with baseball. Who's your baseball fighter?
The only person I could think of off the top of my head was John Rucker, because I heard somebody mention him on the radio. It was just a caller mentioning him, but I'm just blanking on aggressive baseball players now.
Yeah. So I was down to two. It's either Amir Garrett. Do you know who he is?
No.
He was on the Cincinnati Reds, I believe, and he basically tried to fight the entire Pittsburgh Pirates team by himself.
That's bold.
He literally just like jumped into their dugout and started throwing punches.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a valid point. The
It
first
was
player
either him or it was Jason Varitek.
didn't he played for the Red Sox, right?
Yeah, he was a catcher. He fought A-Rod once, or he was like gouging A-Rod's eyes out.
Oh, the player I would go with is Barry Bonds. With all that roid rage, he could take it out on one of your choices.
Yeah.
And I remember he was a pretty big, or he's 6'2". I can't find his weight off the top of my head. So instead of hitting baseballs, I can see him hitting people.
Yeah. I think Garrett would be the more aggressive of my options. Varitek seems like the one who would be more likely to fight a little dirty.
Yeah. No, and Barry Bonds was 6'2", 240. So he could definitely hold his own in a fight.
Yeah. I'm going to see if I can text you a picture of the Varitek A-Rod fight real quick so you can see what I was talking about. See if there's a good picture. Oh yeah, here we go. Let's see. I just texted you a picture.
Okay. Well, back to the score update. Tennessee over Florida has gone final, so that was a good win for the Vols.
Yeah.
And I'm not oh, okay. Yes. Houston won against Memphis, as you mentioned before.
Yeah. I'm going to send you a picture of the Garrett fight, too, where he's fighting the entire team by himself.
Well, I can't seem to... Oh, I do remember seeing this. The Varitek A-Rod battle.
Yeah. I'm going to send you a picture of Amir Garrett, too.
Well, with the picture you sent me, he's just like face palming.
Yeah, pretty much.
A-Rod.
Yeah.
Well, and since he's a catcher, it would he at least has some protection in a brawl. And that's still my favorite part of baseball is the bench clearing brawls. No other sport really does that.
Yeah. You see the Amir Garrett one now?
Yeah, he must be real pissed if he's fighting the whole team.
Yeah. Like he was just the first one there because he was on the mound.
Oh.
So he got there before anyone else. But yeah.
But it doesn't in the Amir Garrett photo you sent me, it looks like neither player knows how to fight.
Yeah.
So they should, both the Pirates and Garrett should just stick to baseball. It looks like they're just trying to push him over. Like the Pirates players, they're not really tackling him, and he's just throwing a punch without protecting his head at all.
Yeah.
Like he's just fully exposed. Like it's yeah, he's in a very bad position there.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, I think that MLB should encourage bench clearing brawls for their ratings.
And they are fun, so.
Yes, and most of the time they're really dumb.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's over like a pitch or something. They're like, okay.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, you know what would be good? Huh?
I was going to say, and it's safer than having pitchers just throw at the head of the opposing player that they have a grudge against.
Yeah. You know, I was just thinking would be a good one for NFL would be Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, he was a beast.
Yeah. Remember when he tried to fight the referee?
No, not off the top of my head.
I think it was during a Raiders-Chiefs game.
Okay.
But yeah.
Oh, while we're on running backs, I would take Jerome Bettis in a fight. He was a tank in his day. I hate the Steelers.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I would not want to get in his way.
Yeah.
Or Jamal Lewis on the Ravens. Yeah, no. Jerome Bettis is 5'11", 250. So that's pretty big. That's pretty tall for a running back.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he could run people over in a fight. And see, or Derrick Henry. Oh, why didn't I think of Derrick Henry to begin with? And I've seen him up close at Titans practices. I would not want to be in his way.
Yeah.
I could definitely see him winning an MMA fight.
Right.
He's 6'3", 240, so he's doesn't have as much weight as other players we've discussed, but yes, he would. The fact that he's 6'3" would be helpful to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think I just named a bunch of Ravens that that I would want to see in a fight, but they have some good teams.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jamal Lewis is 5'11", 245. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So running backs and linebackers would be who I would pick in a fight.
Yeah.
But it would be hilarious to see that Peyton Brady fight.
Yeah, that would be a funny one.
It'd be a lot better than having them play the celebrity golf tournament with Phil and Tiger.
Right. Yeah.
As fun as that was, see two immobile quarterbacks try to fight in an MMA fight. Who knows? Maybe that's how celebrity sports will evolve. Instead of just golf and boxing, have a celebrity MMA for broke, desperate athletes.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was kind of what McGregor and Mayweather did, except he was like, "I'll just box you," instead of Mayweather fighting him in MMA.
Right. Right.
Which.
So.
Yeah.
I think that about does it for this week.
Yeah,
right?
I think we've talked about MMA a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Went along with the cards, so that worked out.
What?
I said our topic this week went along with the card well, so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm not sure when the next big UFC fight will be, but
I don't know. They usually put a card. Huh?
I'll keep an eye out for it because
they usually have a card every weekend, but it's not always the big ones.
That's true. That's what I meant. The next big fight.
Yeah.
Because I think I watch more. I watch a lot of UFC in the spring, on the weekend when there's no football.
Right.
So, and they're pretty good about having it on every Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, UFC 260 is on March 27th. Miocic versus Nataguanu 2.
Okay, that should be a good one.
I'm familiar with Stipe Miocic, but I don't know who Francis Ngannou is. So, yes. So more sports to look forward to in upcoming weeks.
Yeah. All right, we'll be back next week.
That's it for. Yes. See you guys then.
Yeah.